Hey y'all, I'm Elisa, the Scrappy Wife behind ScrappyWife.com, and today I have a planning process video for you. I am working in my classic vertical catch-all planner, and I will be planning for the week of January 17th through the 23rd. I am wanting to do kind of a winter squad life theme, so I have all my squad life sticker books pulled out because I have 3 copies of the same book. I love, love, love those stickers. I have that pulled out, and then I have some scrapbook paper and an old outdated spread that I'm planning on using to kind of change things up just a little bit. So if you are interested in kind of watching this come together, then make sure to stay tuned. I will link everything that I end up using down in the description box below. Otherwise, let's go. All right, so this plan with me is going to be a little bit longer because I spent a little bit longer on this particular spread. Every now and then, you just have a little more time and you can get a little more creative, and that's what I did with this one. What I'm doing right now is going through some Felicity Jane scrapbook paper, which is one of my favorite scrapbook paper companies. I love the really soft feel of their paper, the real feminine look to it, and so I'm going through and picking out some papers that I think coordinate well with these winter squad girls. Again, this is from the Squad Life sticker book, one of my favorites because I have a bunch of them, and I just love it. So I'm looking for just some soft colors that will complement, and what I'm planning on doing is using some different scrapbook papers to put together as the background for my page. And I first saw someone do this when I was watching Heather Kell over on Plan of a Kell, and she's awesome, and she's one of the squad mentors, and I saw her doing this on a page and I thought it was just genius as a way to kind of change up your planner. And so what I have done is bought clearance planners. So a particular layout that I like, just buying it on clearance, not really worrying about how it's dated, because you can just use the main guts of that planner to layer on top of scrapbook paper and create your own page layouts. And so I'll show you how that's going to work right here. A typical classic Happy Planner page size is 7 inches wide and 9¼ inches tall. So I cut 2 kinds of paper, the pink stripe and then this beautiful deep green blue, to 7 inches wide, and then I'm going to put them together so that they will be 9¼ inches tall. And what I'm doing, this is an old spread, an old empty spread that wasn't used. That's the vertical layout, and I'm cutting it apart to put together these boxes. But I make a mistake because I accidentally cut out 2 sets of 3 boxes, and I needed one of them to be a set of 4, and I'm going to figure that out here in just a second because I'm thinking, oh, there it is. I need that one to be a set of 4. So what I'm going to do is just trim out this particular piece and add it on. You're never going to know the difference once it's all put back together. So just be careful as you're cutting out, because they're front and back, then it can be really easy to accidentally cut out the wrong set of boxes. So got all my basics here. Now I need to just kind of put it together. So I'll add a little bit. I want the pink to be the predominant color. So I'm just trying to figure out what that proportion is going to look like. And in the end, I'm just going to add some adhesive to this dark green blue with my Tombow adhesive and put that down, lining it up as straight as I can. And the fact that there are lines across the page kind of make it easier to line up. So I'm gonna do the same with both of these, and then I'll pull out my paper trimmer again and just trim it down to make sure it's 9¼ inches long, which is the size of a layout on the classic size planner, which is what I'm using for my classic catch-all. Before I put the boxes on the page, I'm going to go ahead and use my Happy Planner punch, which I lost the bottom of the punch. So that's why you see all the little pieces come out, because in a cleaning fit one time, I think I accidentally threw it away. So I no longer have a bottom to my punch, but it still works. So no big deal. Now I'm just going to line up where the boxes will go on the page, keeping in mind that I want to leave room at the top to label the different days of the week. So I need to make sure I have plenty of room for that. But I'm just going to line it here up on the horizontal line that's going across. Just makes it really easy to keep it straight. And then this is actually 2 different parts. I'm figuring out what goes well together, where it fits nicely. So again, just adding adhesive. I want to make sure it's lined up left to right. So I'm putting the 2 spreads right next to each other. I'll put this one down first and then add the back right here, the rest of the week, and then I'll have all the boxes. And you can see now it looks just like a typical Happy Planner spread, but it has this really cool scrapbook paper background, which I really like. And over, I think this one maybe was a Black Friday purchase. Recently, I purchased this from kellavaplan.com, and it's her Dated Basics book. So she has a ton of numbers and days of the week and months of the year, just things that you can use if you A, have an undated Happy Planner, or B, are doing projects like this, which work out really well. So I'm trying to line those up. I'll label them all Monday through Friday, getting them positioned. The Tuesday one looked crooked to me, so I'm going to kind of move that over a little bit and make sure it's totally straight. I'll add the numbers at the end just because I wasn't sure what size number I wanted to do, how big the numbers would be. I just figured I would wait to the end because you can also just write all of these in. If you just feel like using your own handwriting, that works. If you have a label maker, that will work as well. Okay, so now I have the background kind of all set, and I'm going to start working on some function. I always like for there to be some sort of long box in the sidebar, just because I really do like running lists, running to-do lists, and so this gives me a spot to have that. And then I'm focusing on function. So I need my planner to be functional. There are so many planners that are so creative and create the most beautiful spreads, and then I always wonder how they write or where they write, or how it works for them. And for me, I have to have things in a certain order. It's just how my brain works. And so I will most likely always keep my schedule up at the top, because that's what I'm flipping my planner open to see what's going on that particular day. So that's why I'm adding all of these boxes up at the top. We have all kinds of activities coming up in the next week with Martin Luther King Day, and the kids have soccer and track and gymnastics and Cub Scouts and all the things. And so I'm making sure to add plenty of boxes so I can list those things up top. And then underneath that, in the second row, that's where I like to put a to-do list. So generally I will keep some sort of running to-do list over on the left-hand side, and then I will assign or parcel out those tasks throughout the week, just depending on how the rest of the day looks. So if I know it's going to be a busy day, then I know I might not be able to get as much done as far as tasks, or if I know I have an errand day, then I can put all those errands on that particular day. So I kind of just adjust and figure out how my tasks are going to go, but I like to have those in the middle row. And if I end up with extra space, then I go back, and in that middle row, or even in the top, I add little notes about fun things that happened that week. So for instance, in the past week, I watched the national championship game for football, and my husband's Georgia Bulldogs won the national championship. So of course, in my planner, I had to write out the final score and kind of celebrate that. So I do a combination of like look ahead planning on what's coming up that week, and then back planning on filling in any white space I have left over with extra little tidbits about the day. All the stickers I'm using are coming from that Squad Life sticker book. They have a lot. It's a great mix of these decorative ones and functional ones. I love all these little bullets. I know people that don't like the symbols on the bullets. I happen to super like them, so I'm going to use the hearts and put some bullets down on each day. Like I said, I will set it up in advance and then go back like on a Sunday evening and fill in as much as I can, and then I'll keep filling in throughout the week. So I go ahead and put 2 to 3 bullets on each day, and then just see how it goes from there, because I can always add things during the week, because I don't think many of us just do our planner and just leave it. Like it's functional, it changes throughout the week, plans change, and so I really have to go back and be able to see that stuff. So this is me getting all the function in. We actually don't have a lot going on Saturday or Sunday that week, which is an absolute miracle, because normally we're just going all the time. So we'll try to really enjoy that free time. Now this bottom section, depending on how busy the week is, can be decorative or functional. This particular week, I'm going to have a lot of room for decorating. So I want to create a little winter scene here at the bottom, and I'm going to have all these girls doing their winter activities. We're actually supposed to get some snow on Sunday night into Monday, so it really does make sense to have this winter scene. I'm going to use the gray grid washi as my kind of snow feel or the ground feel. So I'm taking one piece and cutting it in half or ripping it in half so it has kind of a more jagged ground looking edge. But before I put that down, I'm actually going to pull out some more scrapbook paper. I had pulled this aside. It has kind of this snowflake feel that I thought would be really pretty as the background for all of these girls that are playing in the snow. So I will just trim that down to size to cover the bottom row of boxes, and I'll do it on both sides of the layout, and then I'll be set to kind of start setting my scene. So the gray grid washi will go on the bottom. It's a little finicky, especially once you rip it in half and it's all like curled up and stuff. So a tiny little bit finicky, but that's okay. Getting that put to the on the ground so it looks like the ground. I think it turned out really cute, and I'll do the same thing on the other side, and then I'm going to start putting the girls down. So I considered whether I wanted to, all of the girls I want to use are on clear sticker paper so you can see through them, meaning all of these kind of spotty dot snowflake looking pieces would go through the sticker. And so I thought, well, maybe I'll put the stickers on white cardstock and then cut them out. But then I realized I could just use a little bit of whiteout here and there underneath where that sticker is going to go. And they really do end up looking immersed in the scene. And I think it turns out so cute. I love the little bits of the silver foil, the little bit of shine. This is one of my favorite spreads. I think it's so fun. These squad girls are just my total jam. I would use them all the time. If I had enough different kinds, I feel like I could totally rock a whole squad girl planner. I do really try to be careful to not repeat the same girl on the spread. So I had a different girl picked up, but I realized she's at the bottom of that long sidebar. So I'll pick my little snowball throwing girl right here. She is super cute. And if I see that a little snowflake kind of comes through, then I just peel it up and put it back down. And then I will do one more girl who is snowboarding, super adorable. I love this one. And I will do the same thing, just little bits of white out here and there, just so that the sticker looks really clean and it doesn't kind of come through where she is. And you can see, I can just totally put part of it down and just double check that it's not coming through where her shirt is. And how cute is that? It's so sweet. So now I'm going to play with the houses and background scenes. Yes, I realize these girls are really big compared to the houses, but in my head, they are just in the foreground, and the houses and the trees and stuff are in the background. So we're going with a little depth here. So we have one house, and we'll kind of nestle some trees near that house. And again, I'm just coming with the snowflakes. And I think this is actually better than doing it with the white cardstock. I think it's a little less fussy than having to do the fussy cutting of all of the stickers again. And I think you get a cool impression of some of the snowflakes coming through some parts where they wouldn't come through if the whole thing was just matted on cardstock. And there's some tiny trees that I'm layering in some different sections. One more house on this side just to kind of complete the scene, and then I will put a few trees on that side as well. I would say actual time for this particular spread was probably 45 minutes, which, like I said, is longer than I would normally spend on a planner spread. One thing I love about planners and using all these stickers is that you can get creative and it doesn't have to be this huge time commitment. But I found myself really wanting to do a more in-depth spread and being really excited about this particular one. So if I did have time, I found it and dedicated it to this little spread. And I just love, love, love how it came out. I do have a lot of white space all over on the right side of the spread because, like I said, for once we actually don't have a lot going on the weekend, and I do want to leave room to write. So I am going to create an additional little scene or two up here at the top, but there will still be some white space where I can do a little bit of writing if stuff comes up later in the week. So I can still do that back planning thing that I was talking about. So we'll have some trees right here. I have my girl who is super cute right there. And then I'm going to put the little snowman in between. I just whited out the line so that it wouldn't go through the snowman. And then got the girl, and you can see there's still room to write over the top on Saturday and Sunday. So there's still some space. And then I want this other girl who's kind of like skiing downwards. I want her to be there, but I need there to be a ground for her. So I'm going to go with that same washi tape look. And at first I was like, I'll just keep it to this box, but that looked odd to me. So what I'm actually going to do is tear this washi tape again so that it kind of tears down to a point, if that makes sense, like kind of cascades towards the bottom. and it's going to overlap that box. So I'll put it right on the edge here, and you can see how it's going into the Saturday box. Still plenty of room to write, but it looks just a little bit more natural to me. And then I'm going to add some more washi tape underneath where these trees and the snowman are. And this time I'll tear it and I'll have it kind of going the other direction so that it's on the bottom of the line. So it serves two purposes. It kind of frames in my little skier who's going downhill right here, but it also gives ground to that last little scene. So I have 3 little vignettes, but I think they go really well together and it balances out the spread really nicely. Over here on the sidebar, I have just enough room to add these sweet little deer, just to create that little scene up at the top. And then there's a lot of little kind of snowflake looking pieces. They're just little silver dots and blue dots, but I'm going to sprinkle them throughout the spread to give that snow feel through the whole spread. So we'll put it over here by the deer and we'll add it to those other 2 scenes that I created. Once I add in those snowflakes, and the last thing to do would be to add the numbers. I decided I just wanted to go with some really small numbers. So again, I pulled out my Keleva Plan dated basics book, and she has a whole bunch of just white and black numbers. So I'm going to add those and kind of connect them to the days of the week at the top. And then this planner spread will be done. All you have to do with a planner spread like this, pop it into your planner. You can use some adhesive and tape it down to the pages that are currently in your planner, or you can keep it loose, whatever works for you. If you liked this video, please press the thumbs up and consider hitting that subscribe button as well as the bell notification button. As always, I will link supplies that I used down in the description box below. I also want to give a huge shout out to my new patrons. I am so excited that you guys made the jump with me over to Patreon. It really means the world. If you want to learn more about what it means to join Patreon, then you can check out that link in the description box below as well. All right, I hope that you all have a fabulous day, and as always, keep it creative.